So hi guys, I'm Cyrille. I'm so sorry first, let me apologize not being with you today, it really kills me. I was actually taken away from this event, but that's really something I'm miss being with you. A few words about me, I'm Cyrille, I'm the founder of a startup, Q&B. We created a big data and data visualization technology. We first went for, we targeted the vision at first was to create a Wikipedia for numbers, so to aggregate a large number of economical theories, numerical data sets and so on, and put that on one single platform, and have anyone actually being able to browse that data and represent it visually. We got acquired by the Interactive a few months ago, and actually the plan, when we joined the Interactive, seemed like crazy. Just a few words about it. The Interactive now has like 10,000 clients all over the world. It's about like 70,000 websites, e-commerce websites, I think. And it represents roughly 1 billion user sessions a day. And as of today, the Interactive is actually processing that data to just pop up, to trigger a lot of user interactions, to just help the e-commerce website improve its performance, improve its conversion, whether it's with email retargeting or online, on-site interactions. But as of today, they wouldn't actually store and put this data to use. What we do now, the plan, is actually to take that data, store it into one single cluster, one single platform, big data obviously, and start putting that data to use. So in a few words, actually the plan is, we have 3 goals here. The first point, the first goal is to just create new data-driven products to create new revenue streams. Basically, we want to become the Bloomberg for e-commerce. We know that we have a very significant number of clients in different industries, and we know that we can extrapolate from that number of clients to build industry metrics that will be the first ones to actually give an overview of how a specific industry evolves online. So let's take an example. What is the live trend of the travel industry online? So this is the kind of answer we can provide with the data we're getting today. The second goal is to take that data as well and create a new kind of intelligence to augment the current product that the Interactive is selling. What the product do today is very deterministic. They actually trigger an interaction every time the user is at one specific step of his purchasing experience. Well, we'll be smarter than that. We literally take into account the profile of the user. We score the user based on whether he's actually averse or friendly with on-site interactions. Does he like to have chat popping up to help him purchase? Does he like to have promo codes? Does he like to be retargeted with emails and so on? And the more we can profile each and every user, the better we become at helping the user having the best purchasing experience. And the better we become as well in improving the conversion performance of every merchant. And the last goal, the last one, the third one, is actually to take that data as well and become kind of a Google Analytics specifically for e-commerce merchants and help those merchants benchmark their own conversion performance against an average performance and so on. So we also use this data to freely help e-merchants benchmark their performance and have insightful metrics on their performance. So imagine this. We were a team of data scientists working, we were 7 people, and working on very interesting stuff and so on. But that was, we didn't have the means, we didn't have the scope, we didn't have the scale. We would actually play with small amounts of data and so on. And now, being acquired by the Interactive for us became like, it's a dream come true. We have now a reach that we couldn't dream of. Think of this. It's, I told you, like 1 billion user sessions a day, and we know that for the moment we're probably able to profile like 3 to 4% of the internet users worldwide. with the expansion plan of VE, we'll probably reach like 30% of the internet users in 18 months from now. Meaning that we'll have actually profiles, of course, anonymous profiles and so on, of a lot of different internet users, and we can use this data at such a scale that it becomes like, yeah, it's really, I mean, the playground is virtually unlimited. The scope of techniques we're using as well is potentially unlimited. We, of course, base all this on a Hadoop foundation, for those of you who know, and I'm sure actually some of you have probably already some knowledge about big data attacks and so on, so I won't try to cheat you here. I speak honestly. I have to confess, I'm a faker here, okay? I'm not the one who codes. I'm the guy managing the team, and I'm a wannabe engineer. And I'm not an engineer by myself, unfortunately. I'm trying to fake it, but Christian actually knows that I'm a very poor faker. So we're using Hadoop. We're using also a stack of open source text. We're using Spark as well for streaming almost real-time data processing. We are using Cassandra plus Python for the graph representation we're using, because all the knowledge required through those different user sessions we're collecting, we actually store that in a graph representation. We use a bunch of different frameworks. All of them actually are open source frameworks, and one of the targets we have as a team at VE Interactive is actually to start also now contributing as well to the open source world, so giving back at least as much as we're getting from the open source, and we really want now to have a significant place in the open source community by contributing to the open source project. So we start actually contributing at least to Spark, where we are developing some stuff with the open source pretty soon. So did I miss some frameworks here? No, not sure. What else? Yeah, Storm. I mean, if you want some names like this, it's like Hadoop, Spark, Storm, MapReduce, of course, Titan, Cassandra, and so on. So, and we are using as well, and this is actually one of the main projects that will be hosted in Cluj. We work on a product search service that is to actually compete with the Google one. It's based on the Lucene kernel framework, and it's meant to make probably 1 to 2 billion of e-commerce products available and searchable either by the interactive products or also by outside users. So long story short, the story of a small company started being acquired by VE Interactive. It's what I tried to describe in this article we posted in this newspaper in Romania. It's something that's so exciting. I mean, we're really excited by the plan of what we'll do in the next 3 years here. And finally, and that's probably the last word, I'm sorry, I know I talk too much, but we are not to be acquired. I mean, VE Interactive is not to be acquired by an internet giant in the next 3 years. It's to become an internet giant by itself. The pace we have at VE Interactive, the growth is just crazy. We actually secure the position in the market that no other players actually secure. We have such a broad scope of product, we have such a business strategy and so on that we can't actually find any competitors that can seriously compete with what we're doing. So we are to become actually the basic final solution for e-commerce, and that's really my exciting plan. So this is it. It's just a very lousy, unstructured talk about the excitement of the data scientist who joined VE Interactive, who used to be a small company but who's now to become an internet giant, and this is it. Christian.
Can you hear? Can you hear?
Can you
Okay. So one
can you
question:
repeat?
how you position B versus another French company, Retail?
Okay.
Are you competitors or how is the?
So, can you mute again? Thanks. Criteo obviously is the leader of the ad retargeting. Ad retargeting is now one of the 10 products the Interactive actually is selling. We have an ad retargeting solution as well, but we also have a larger scope of engagement optimization. So the point is actually not to let a user leave, but to try to help him have a better user experience on an e-commerce website. And we also have products on the conversion part, so meaning that we help the client actually finalize, complete the checkout. So in terms of scope, the Interactive has a product range that's actually a bit broader than Criteo, and of course we don't have the same depth on the ad retargeting side, because this one is actually the place where Criteo is good. We have a second very important difference between the Interactive and Criteo. Criteo's model is actually based on, business model is based on CPM, meaning that you pay based on the number of, it's CPM or CPC, sorry, it's CPC. You pay only based on the number of clicks, or you pay based on the number of impressions the ad, your ads are displayed. The Interactive business model is totally based on CPA, so basically on performance, meaning that we have, the revenues that the Interactive is earning is only based on the revenue, the extra revenue we create for these customers. And this is a very significant difference, because now the era of CPM and CPC is almost over, because every advertiser is actually fed up paying for at most, impressions, but most of them are actually fake, because we know that half the impressions are not really don't reach the actual user. And CPA is in the future for web marketing, and the Interactive is actually the one who's the leader in that field. And last but not least, if we need to prove this by the numbers, probably in the talk I keep saying they about the Interactive, because it's very new to me actually. It's just a few months, and from time to time it's just so insane the pace they have that I don't feel like I'm part of this. And just a few words about the partnerships the Interactive is just signed off in the past 2 months. You heard about Yandex. The Interactive has now a partnership, a strategic partnership with Yandex. The Interactive signed a strategic partnership with Yahoo Japan, which is not the Yahoo you know. Yahoo Japan is the one who rules the internet actually for Asia. And last but not least, there was a partnership that was actually signed end of December, and this is a crazy one. They signed with Alibaba. You probably, of course you know Alibaba, and you probably don't know ShopX, which is the e-commerce platform of Alibaba. This e-commerce solution, it's a CMS, like PrestaShop or Magento or whatever. The only difference is that it's a Chinese one. So when it comes to China, the numbers are usually a bit crazy. So here are the numbers for this partnership. It's 1 million e-commerce websites in China, representing 2.6% of the Chinese GDP. And this is now the hunting field for the very interactive products in Asia. So it gives us a view of what the Interactive will become in the next 18 months. Today it's 10,000 customers, but the plan is actually to multiply by 10 in the next 12 months. And probably afterwards it's a bit different. Those numbers prove that the CPA model we have at the Interactive is actually the good one for the future. This is it.
Any other question? Technical questions here?
Yeah.
Come on. Wants to put Cyrille in difficulty.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you very much, Cyrille.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you.